Good morning, guys. It's Dakota back with another live stream. Today is April 26, 2021. And before I get into this call, before anything happens, I gotta say my glasses are broken, and I gotta go to Eyeglass World today. Yesterday I sat on them, so I can't really see anything without these things. So I'm gonna struggle with them. But let me bring up the live chat to see what's going on. What's up, Eric? How you doing, man? I'm doing good. I'm ready to get this started, bro. All right. All right, let's dive into this a bit. Dang, RP. Yeah, definitely. All right. I need to mute the music for myself to focus. Okay, so last week was a pretty rough week. If you guys already saw the weekly recap. I'm doing good. Just works. Yeah, that's always fun, bro. But all right, guys. So if you're on the live stream like right now, it's gonna be a rough live stream. I think it's my computer that's disconnecting from the internet. It may do it a few times, but just stick with me. And if you watch the recording, you shouldn't have that problem. And I'll be sure to put the timestamps in so it's easier to navigate. All right, let's get into this. Alright, so prerequisite before like looking at any charts, you gotta hit the like button. It's a prerequisite, you have to, because you have to turn your screen blue. That's how you get profits. Your screen's blue when you get profits. Also, this is subscribe and notification bell to keep up with future live streams and videos that I post on YouTube. But let's go ahead and get into this. So starting with EURJPY, I'm actually looking for, I'm holding the opportunity. I'm holding a long position. Jeez. And for some reason, I think I'm on a different broker. There you go. Oh yeah, I just added that one. All right, there you go. So the position I'm holding is right here, currently in profit, looking for it to continue pushing up past these highs. Now notice that obviously prices rejected this area several times, let's say 3 times, and I'm actually eventually looking for it to actually break through, and gonna continue looking for that until this trend line is broken. All right, if we go to the 4-hour, this is a 4-hour position. If this high gets broken, my stop loss will be moved to break even. And yeah, that's the only management that I'll have to do now. If this next high does get broken, I'll move it into profit underneath the next highest low. Yeah. And yeah, that's pretty much how I'm gonna manage that position. There's not much to talk about there. At this point, it's just boring stuff and just going through the motions. Let's go to this next position. It's a 1-hour setup. I'm looking for it to reach my 50 Fibonacci level, and then if price does get there, have an opportunity for an 8-to-1 opportunity, which is really good. 8R, it's a really good opportunity, and I'm looking for this to, if it does set up, actually play out within really like a day and a half. So it's not something I'll be holding for a week or something. But that's EURJPY, and as always on these calls, gonna go ahead and get into a full markup so you guys can see how I analyze the chart and work on it yourself if you want to do that. Also, every single thing that I talk about on here, I always post in a Discord server. If I ever forget about anything in the Discord server, do not hesitate to reach out to me. Just at me in there, and I'll be sure to send it out. And if you're not in the Discord server, the link to that is in the description. All you gotta do is click the link and you're joined, right? You don't have to pay for anything or anything like that. It's a free, basically, group chat. So what I do, I start on my higher time frames and I do top-down analysis. I start on the monthly and I work my way down. For this pair, I skip the weekly because trend line's not too, the trend line tends to mess up as you go down to lower time frames. So I just skip that and do my analysis on the daily. So on the daily, we can see that we're making higher highs, higher lows, and we have an uptrend, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and take my trend line, draw like that. You can see prices respecting this trend line so far as it's continuing up. And what I like to do is box price in or find recent support and resistance areas that price could magnetize itself to and potentially reject, basically make a decision at. All right, because that's how I think of support and resistance lines, or supply demand zones as I call them. They're areas that price is magnetizing itself to, and at those areas price is making a decision whether it's going to break through or reject it. At the end of the day, that's pretty much the only two things. So breaking down what we're seeing here, we have an uptrend, meaning that we're looking for price to continue up. Price hasn't hit this top line up here, and if we think of price like a ball, we can see price has bounced off the floor and we're looking for it to go to the ceiling before it returns to the floor, right? Keeping it simple. So if we have a trend line telling us price is going up, and we have gravity, we have the bouncy ball telling us price is trying to go up, gonna look for price to target this area up here. So this is pretty much our target, or at least my target for this pair. Looking for price to reach about, what area is this? 133.15. And from this point to that point, it's about close to 300 pips. All right. So if we get a good opportunity there, that's gonna, wow, if we get an entry there, that's gonna be a good opportunity for us. All right. Now, before I say this next thing, I'm gonna break down my strategy. Now, after I box price in just the way that I did, and I'll do this on several other pairs so you guys can see it again. The setup that I'm looking for, the actual things that I'm looking for in order to enter into the market, it's pretty simple. It's called market structure. All I look for is impulsive movement, which impulsive movement are strong aggressive candles moving in one direction. After that, I look for consolidating candles moving the opposite direction of the impulse, right? So it's going to look something like this, and it's going to kind of look like this is a flagpole and then this is the flag, right? That's pretty much what it's going to look like if you draw it out. And if that forms, what I'm looking for an opportunity down here at the bottom of this flag, at the bottom of this correction, to enter. And if I enter there, I'm looking for a continuation, right? And to put it in some different terms, the impulse tells me the direction the market wants to go. So if I have an impulse going down, strong aggressive candles moving down, the market wants to go down. That's what it's telling me. And then the correction, small consolidating candle moving in the opposite direction of the impulse, that's confirming that the market still wants to go in the same direction as the impulse, right? So in this situation, it's confirming that it wants to continue down. And then I find an opportunity to enter where I think is the top of that correction in this situation. And then I go ahead and enter for a sell, and I look for this continuation to play out. All right. So if you got any questions over that, just let me know in the live chat. I'll be sure to talk about it and answer it to the best of my ability. But let's go ahead and continue. So the next thing I'm going to say on here is basically we can break down right here. We have an impulse, and after that we got a corrective pattern. Small consolidating candles, opposite direction of the impulse. And in this situation, it's formed an expanding triangle. I particularly look for patterns in the market and as well pay attention to certain levels. So with that, knowing what we just learned, or knowing what I just talked about, which direction am I looking for this to go? If you know the answer, just type in the live chat. Okay. All right. So that's how we doing today. We just not gonna answer the code. I feel it. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and finish this, and then I'll get back to it. Unless someone answers. And if you missed the question, I asked basically which direction am I looking for the market to go. You guys should still be able to see. Oops, I moved it off the screen. My bad. Wow, actually. Dang, why didn't anyone tell me that that the thing was off? Let me scale it to fit. That's wild. Yo, yeah, don't have to be afraid to talk for real. Let me know if like something's off. But anyway, the question I asked was basically which direction am I looking for this to go? We have an impulse here and we have a correction here. Again, anyone answers, I'll come right back to the chart and I'll continue the markups. Other than that, I'm gonna continue filling out my plan for the day, and then I'll get back to the stream when you guys, either if you guys answer or when I finish that. Also, if you say I don't know, that's a good answer too. So I can answer that. Let's go to, what's the date? The date is April 26th. Okay, so I'm finished, so I'm gonna go ahead and continue now. The answer, if you were struggling, seemed like you were, the answer to the question, basically I'm looking for this to continue up, and I'm looking to reach this level 130.15. Have an impulse here, we have a corrective pattern here, and look for price to reject off that trend line and continue up higher on your JPY, right? Obviously the level that's struggling to break is this area here. Once that area is broken, my confidence is really improved in this move, essentially, to keep it simple. Let's go to 4 hour. And this was the 4 hour setup that I took down here. Now looking for an opportunity to scale in, basically put more onto the position. And let's continue down to the 1 hour. And the setup that I'm looking at right now is here. Here we go. We have an impulse here, we have a correction, and I like the correction to actually come down a little bit lower, about to that level, and give me an opportunity to buy. And previously I said it's 8-to-1. Right now with what I just put on, it should be a little bit better than that. Oh, it's a little bit worse than that. Alright, it's 6-to-1, but it's still a good opportunity. 6-to-1, 8-to-1, doesn't matter. Both R's are great. But have to wait for price to reach my entry level. Not going to be taking off 38.2 in this situation, and we'll just see what happens. All right, I believe I already sent this. Yeah, I already sent this out to a Discord server, so you guys should be able to check up on that. And let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Okay, GU. I'm gonna go to the 4 hour GU review. Now, originally I was looking for an opportunity to buy here, but price didn't form the pattern that I was looking for it to form, or didn't really form a pattern at all on the time frame that I was paying attention to. So no trades taken, and I'm looking for this leg to continue up and then come back down and reach this area again, giving me a buying opportunity. So I'm anticipating this to actually set up for me Wednesday if it does set up. And I mean, if it doesn't, obviously I'm not gonna enter. Obviously there's not gonna be a trade on this, and I'll just either miss the opportunity or the setup fails. But yeah, this is what I like to see, how 2 alerts set there, so all good on that. You guys already had the screenshot for this, so you can go through and review it. And I've talked about it on the last few calls, and I'm gonna talk about it on this one. So GBPUSD, let's go ahead and get into the full markup. Delete all that, go to the monthly, refresh the page. Now I'll give y'all one more chance. I'll give y'all another chance on this stream. Alright, let's see if anyone can get the answer right. Go into weekly, go to daily. So start on the higher time frames, box price in with the horizontal lines, and here we can see higher highs, higher lows, another uptrend. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the trend line, draw like this. All right. So with this, I would love to see price continue up to the 1.44 area on GU, and like it has a lot of room to actually push up. So there's a lot of opportunities actually that could come here. And let me zoom in so you guys can see a little bit better. So all the way up here is about a 500 pip opportunity, and then to the initial target that I'll be looking for is about 280. All right, so this is a really good opportunity here if we catch this next entry. Yeah, let's go down to the 4 hour. Shut up. So here, this one I'm gonna ask a real basic question. All right, I won't make it as hard as the last one. We have an impulse going up here, right? And after that impulse, I'm waiting for what? Oh, yes. We got it. Thank you, Jerry. After the impulse, I'm waiting for a correction. I appreciate you, man. So, after every single impulse that I have on the chart, and what's up? Good morning. After every single impulse, I wait for a correction, which is confirmation telling me if the market is likely to go up. Now, I will be asking questions on every stream, so if you hop on, you better be ready to answer, or I will continue to stay silent and go about my day. So, we got an impulse here, waiting on this correction to form. What I'd like to see is another leg push up and another leg come down. Whether it's equal or even if it comes lower, I'll be looking to take opportunities to enter at both areas and possibly get in on this. Let's see if I get an entry here. Whoa, slow down. If I get an entry here, it's about a 7-to-1. Obviously, it's a rough draft. I'm not being too anal with everything that I'm placing right now. Obviously, I will when the opportunity actually comes. And then here, it's about a 9-to-1, close to a 10-to-1. I believe my original setup here was a 10-to-1. So we'll see what we can make happen. And let me double check to make sure this is sent out, which I remember sending it out, but I just want to check to be sure so I don't have to send this out again, just in case I gotta send it out again. Yeah, I already sent this out. So next pair, dollar Swiss. Okay, on dollar Swiss, originally right before the call, I was looking for a setup here. What I actually saw was that there's divergence here, so price has potential to continue pushing up. So it's kind of depleted my interest in this, and price is pretty much going beyond my entry area anyway. So I'm not gonna take this entry. I'm kind of kicking myself in the foot for saying that just now. Kicking myself in the I don't know if these sayings, I've never heard people say the sayings that I've been saying recently. Just whatever. But yeah, it's a nice idea. I'll continue to track it, but I'm not going to take it just because obviously right now you can tell that I'm confused. So we'll see what happens, but the divergence part has me pretty much not liking this entry anymore. But let's go ahead and find a new setup. As long as we're underneath the trend line, got to continue looking for sales, so we'll still be looking for a selling opportunity. Let's go to dollar Swiss. And if you guys have your own opinion on it, go ahead and let me know in live chat, and if not in live chat, you can share your screenshot in the Discord server. Oh, I'm already on that one. Let's go to this. Delete everything. Now for the 25 list, I actually kept this markup really simple. I didn't overcomplicate it too much. Going down to the weekly. Weekly, we had this trend line here where we got a break of the trend line, price pushed up. We have this huge impulse, and after that impulse, we have a pullback, and we're looking for this to form a corrective pattern. Well, I will look to enter. Okay, and this is obviously on the weekly. If we go down to the daily, it's not the setup. So this is a weekly setup. And I'll exclusively like keep this on live call because I know most people like aren't paying attention to like the chart this long term, at least in the group chat. I think a majority of you guys are day traders. But I'm looking for a bit more consolidation of actually form here, and then an opportunity for it to push up and potentially actually push up all the way to obviously to this point first, and after that point, let's see, yeah, after that point right here for now. I won't be too ambitious, but obviously it does have potential to go all the way up there. All right, now let's go down to the daily time frame. Daily time frame, huge impulse, correction, impulse, ascending channel, which is a reversal pattern. Then we got an impulse. We have corrective movement right here, so possibly forming a descending channel, telling us that the price could potentially turn around and go up. All right, don't worry. We're gonna make it simple. We have a downtrend here. Price has just been going on a downtrend, and as long as it's under this downtrend, or as long as it's under this trend line, gonna be looking for sales. Now at this moment, I'm actually looking for price to reverse and break out of this trend line. Break out of this trend, like go up here, give a correction, and then continue up. But that has to happen first in order for me to actually look for a buy. Other than that, the next thing that I'll be looking for before I sell let's go down to the 1 hour. And yeah, I'll be looking for this on the 1 hour. The first thing that I need to see is an impulse. And after the impulse, what am I looking for? If anyone can tell me. After every single impulse, I need to see what? gassed out. All right. After every impulse, for the people that don't know, you need to see a correction. Needs to correct up to this level. If price corrects up to that level, I'll look for a sell. Price breaks that trend line, gives me a correction to a level that I would determine after the impulse. I will look for a buy. All right. Okay, we'll see what happens. Right now, I'm looking more to the side, to the upside. Yeah, that's pretty much it on dollar Swiss, and those are all the pairs that I have for today. We'll take one quick look at odd Swiss because that didn't play out all the way or anything happened last week. We talked about it. Okay, odd Swiss actually, I mean, it played out basically from our levels so far, or at least it is playing out from our levels. Do we have? No, we didn't set a P&L. So the entries that we talked about, I'll just run through them real quick. We had an entry down here. All right, and looking to target that area up there. We also had an entry, I'll keep it like right there. Also talked about entering here to add to the position, and obviously price it SL in this situation. I'm definitely not assuming anyone put it like sending your stop loss all the way down to that point. All right, same targets. My fault, those targets are wrong, but I'll fix it on this last one. And then I said if price gets down to this area, there's opportunities to enter, and obviously you can see we had 2 opportunities to enter. I'll just put 1 opportunity here like that, and we'll keep the stop loss the same on that side. Okay, so our actual targets on this, or the actual targets that I was interested in looking at on this, is not just as high. I'm looking for price to actually push higher than that. I believe on the daily we can see it a whole lot better. Yeah, so prices has been on an uptrend, a really nice uptrend, and on the daily it's a beautiful impulse here, beautiful correction, beautiful confirmation telling us price is likely to continue up. And any entry that we can find here, I'm targeting this level up here, which is which gives us like a 40-to-1 here off that entry. Targeting that area. Obviously, if any reversal patterns come, obviously going to get out the trade, but it's a really nice setup, and just looking to capitalize off of that. And again, I did say if price does continue down further here, just look for a new opportunity to enter. Like if I was trading this pair, I'd be entering. I would enter here. I would enter here. Doesn't matter. I don't care if I lose these initial positions. Like a 40-to-1 is definitely going to take care of like 2 losses easily. Yeah, there's no need to track that. I'll look at this again later this week to see if it's continuing to play out or if it turns back around and comes down to this level. And if it does come back down to this level, I'll actually continue to track it until it either plays out or hit stop loss or whatever happens. And then you know I gotta go to UJ. Gotta do the UJ skim real quick. Okay, dollar yen continue playing out, and it played out all the way to that 3-to-1, but cut off at the 2-to-1. Well, right before the 2-to-1, because saw a reversal pattern. Obviously, price didn't reverse in that situation. Continue scaling down. This situation is a buying opportunity. Price has potential to push up, start to push up. I like it to be a bit more aggressive, and I like it on a higher time frame. But ultimately, with all this corrective movement, I'm looking for price to push up at least short term wise anyway. But I won't get too heavy into it. So that's all for today, guys. I really appreciate you guys hopping on. And as you can see, compared to the other calls, it did take a little bit longer. And if you don't want the calls to take as long, be sure to just answer the questions. All right. But before we hop off, be sure to hit that like button, hit subscribe, and the notification bell. Also join the Discord server to keep up with all the screenshots we send out, all the pairs we talk about. And as I'm on the topic, might as well send out the odd Swiss screenshot, at least the updated version. Okay. Wow, that's really old. That's when I first started trading. Okay. For some reason, it looked like this didn't come up, but whatever. Let's simplify it so it's not confusing anyone. And yes, 4R. All right. I'll catch you guys in the next one.